When there's stuff on your mind and it's feeling unclear, just hop on the mic and speak without fear. Let's air out.
Okay, it's been a while. It has been a while. What's going on, ladies and folks? Episode 61. Air in, air out. If you're watching the video, new studio, new place, new room, new house, new year. I was gonna say new me, but it doesn't feel like it. It's always like before the year changes, you know, you set up all these plans, like, oh, it's gonna be a sick year, we're gonna get a lot of shit done. And then, like, thinking about all those changes, it doesn't actually make them happen. You know, you still actively have to do it, and it's a lot of work. Yeah, I don't know what this one's gonna be. I guess it's been 3 weeks since I last put up, I think episode 60 was like, 2 weeks before Christmas or something like that. And I said I'd never miss 2 weeks in a row, and I did. I goofed. I let it slide. I didn't have a great month. December, I didn't do much. As soon as I left Westmount, I just stayed home. Didn't do a whole lot. We still stuck to yoga, which was good. But I watched like a lot of Sopranos with Ethan. Watched like 3 seasons of The Sopranos. Went for some walks, and other than that, just nothing. And it didn't feel great. I felt like I should be doing something, but just could not motivate myself to do something. And then, I think a week or two into December, Chris had offered to let me move in here, which is where I am now. I'm in Chris and Andrea's guest bedroom. I've been here since last Friday. Last Friday I moved in. And it's an adjustment period for sure. I was out for a walk just before. I was trying to kind of like clear my head, get my thoughts going, see what I wanted to talk about in this thing. And like my overwhelming feeling was just, I feel like everything feels unstable right now. Like every aspect of my life, from like my living situation, my job, my relationship, you know, all of that feels like it could just crumble and just fall apart. And I'm just like hanging on by a thread, trying to keep all these balls juggled in the air. And it doesn't feel great. It feels a lot like when I just moved it to Waterloo in September. I guess it would have been 2 years ago, September 21. And just like had no idea what I was doing with my life, where my life is headed, where my life's going. And I kind of feel that again once this new year turned around. And like, you know, looking forward to the new year, you feel like it's going to be this big epic change. And then you realize it's just the same old. It's the same you, same life, same everything. As much as you think about you want to make changes, you actually have to actively do them. And we've been doing well. We've been doing very well. We've been working out a lot, which has been good. My body is sore, but also like I've been feeling more depressed since I moved into this house, and like I'm feeling anxious and like just unsure what's going on. So it's like I am now depressed and my body hurts, which it's not great. But there's also this sense to me that's like, this is temporary. Like, I think just, even though I only moved 15 minutes away, I was very comfortable in that old room. You know, I had all my paintings on the wall. That was like my space. I designed it to like be for me. So every time I was in there, I felt great. And I'm still like, I gotta figure out this room. It sucks that we can't put things on the walls here. Like that's part of what the landlord has asked. I guess not to damage the paint or the walls or anything. So I can't hang any of my paintings up. So I've got to find like some other ways that I can make this place feel more home. Maybe get some tables and like put some paintings up, just standing up on flat surfaces rather than hanging them on the wall. But right now I'm kind of in a rut. Not feeling too hot, not feeling too great. My brain's kind of, I don't know, don't quite feel like myself. But as I said, I feel like it's temporary. That's kind of like what's going on right now with me. What about the stuff you guys have all missed? So, December I didn't do a whole lot. I was gonna do a podcast, like the week before Christmas, and I was gonna do like make that my Christmas episode and my New Year's episode. Give you guys one last one. I told people I would do it, and I just never got around to doing it. Something that did happen. If you guys recall, there was a big snowstorm in December. It was like a 3-day event of just high winds, not a ton of snow, but like really high winds, and then just like the amount of snow they had just blew it all in. It had rained the night before, so everything was super slick and icy. So it was like the Friday, December 23rd. I was still in Waterloo, planning to go home the next day, Christmas Eve. I was gonna go back to Barrie, see my family, and I had someone coming over Friday night. So I was going at like in 2 in the afternoon. I was going out to buy socks for our white elephant sock exchange that we did, and condoms for the company that was coming over. And I got maybe 5 minutes from home. I stop at a red light, chilling, no problems. Light goes green, I roll through nice and slow, like kind of crawling because it's icy, you don't know what's going on. And when I'm like 95% through the intersection, I see out of the corner of my eye that a car is coming down the road, like coming down a hill on the road beside me. And I'm just like, I noticed right away, like he's not gonna be able to stop. And then just, a second later, he hits the back of my car and spins me around. And just I started the year getting rear-ended, and I ended the year getting rear-ended again. Fortunately, same thing as last time. His front end was totaled. Delilah was fine. She got some damage, but I drove away just fine. The worst part was that it was so cold and windy out, and when I was outside, like taking photos of like the damage and then like getting all his information and that, my hands had just like numbed in the quick 5 minutes. I think it felt like minus 25 or something. I didn't have any gloves on because I was just going, I'm just going 10 minutes down the road. It's gonna be no problem. So yeah, after that, I had to go sit in my car for like 40 minutes with just the heat cranked, just until I could feel my hands again, to then have to go drive to Cambridge to go to the police collision reporting center and, get my photos taken and get my collision, noted for my insurance, which sucks because I went from a 10-minute drive in this storm to now I have to drive like 40 minutes to and from home just to get the accident reported. So that was kind of insurance already called me. That obviously I'm fully covered. They're going to cover me for a rental car. So like there's nothing coming out of my pocket. And like I said, the car drives fine. No one got hurt. So like that's all the important stuff. I think I laughed more than I was upset. If my dash cam was recording my face, I think you would have seen like the car doing a 360 and me just stone faced. And then when the car finally came to a stop, I just like sighed, put it in park, turned the engine off, and went to go talk to the guy, see if he's doing okay. So that was right before Christmas, and then Christmas Eve rolls around. It's still super stormy, so my mom's texting me like, hey, you shouldn't come home. You shouldn't drive back to Barrie today. And so like, okay, shoot. Well, I guess I'm staying in Waterloo. And then I told Chris and Andrew that like I can't go home, stuck here. And they immediately were like, hey, come spend it with our families. Come hang out. No one should spend Christmas Eve alone. So I came here, and I got to meet their family, meet their parents. It was a really, really nice Christmas Eve getting to meet. I had never met either of their parents before. So that was a super nice evening. I thought I was gonna be spending it alone at home. So that was great. And then waking up Christmas morning, it was the first Christmas Eve I haven't spent with my family. First Christmas morning I didn't wake up at my own home. So I woke up on Christmas morning, and they were still like kind of stormy, and I knew that dads didn't want me to drive still, but I'm like, I gotta get out of here before the dads wake up and try to like talk me into staying again, because I want to go home at this point. I've been away for long enough. So I ended up getting out of there at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock or something, and drove back home. And it didn't really feel like Christmas driving on the highway back to Barrie. It was like at this point the sun was out, the snow had melted. It was like a really nice drive. But yeah, it didn't feel too much. It was like the most unique Christmas I've had, in the sense that it didn't feel like Christmas at all. But then getting home, it was nice, and seeing my family for a few days. But again, like not a whole lot went on. I don't know. I don't have a ton going on in my life, and I feel like that's probably like a major problem. Like I need more things. We work out and stuff here, and I go for walks and stuff. I think I need to introduce more people into my life. Maybe join some clubs. We are looking at joining a Muay Thai class, which I think will be really good. Just to like meet more people. But maybe I should look out for like a running club or something like that, or something at the local rec centers. We're not too far from rec centers here. Maybe find out another sports team. Maybe I take skating. Try and find some skating lessons finally. I was gonna have Kat teach me, but I think she's just too busy. I don't think she has the time for it. So yeah, I need to start filling my life with more meaningful things And, I think you might have seen I did upload the In Sound Mind that I recorded May 3rd. So it's been that is sat on my computer for some time. I don't think that series is going to do very well, but I do have a commitment to finish it. And that will hopefully get me back into like the producing videos mood, because I had not done that in a while. And I was even thinking about today, maybe looking at like film school and stuff like that, maybe going back to college for a shorter program. The turf program, I always, it caught my attention after how much I enjoyed working at Westmount. And I still plan on going back to Westmount in March. I guess that's the soonest I can go back is like mid-March. And if I got nothing else going on here, no other job, which I am looking for another job, it won't be too bad. 2 months, 2.5 months. I just got to get through, and I can go back to the old stomping grounds, see those old friends, and that would be a great summer. And jet program Japan, I haven't heard anything. Hopefully it's the kind of thing where they tell you if you didn't get an interview, and I'm not just like by March I'm just like, I guess I haven't heard anything, I guess I didn't get it. That'd be nice. But I think they did say like in the new year we'll reach out to you, like January or February. So it's still not off the table. I could still very well be going to Japan in August, and maybe that's the big change I need. That's what I'm missing here in my life. So yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about here in this podcast. It's been so long that I forget how to do these things. I didn't really plan out too much. I had the podcast I was gonna do before Christmas and New Year's. I think I'm just gonna make this one a short one. Honestly, I'll go for like half an hour, which I shouldn't make that decision 10 minutes in, but whatever. I'm not. You can probably tell by my voice. I'm not all here. I'm not all feeling it. Just off, just askew. What was I just saying? I don't know. If you guys have any ideas of what I can do to kind of make this place feel more like home, it is. That's telling Chris and Andrew, it does feel like I'm a guest in their home more than that this is my home. And I think that is just partially because like it's just so fresh moving in here. Like I felt weird in the other house with Ethan and Martin when I first moved in. Just you gotta get comfortable with places, there's an adjustment period. So I feel like in 2 weeks or so, or a week, in some amount of time, it'll feel much better. Have like a better routine going. We have been good at like getting up. We're doing yoga in the morning. Then Chris and I will do some kettlebell workouts. Then I'll usually like go for a walk and then try and run some errands. Then try and work on some video stuff. But I really do need like a committed job, I think is what I need. Because my schedule is just so, there's like no consistency right now in my day-to-day. Like any day, anything could happen and we can kind of like put things wherever we want. And I think that just like, I don't know, just leads to like a chaotic brain. And I just want something to like, I just want to like know what my week is before the week starts. This is why I quit my job at Burnside, because like every Sunday night I'd have anxiety because I had no idea what I was doing for my week, and I'm supposed to like plan this out with my coworkers. So I'm like, I have no idea what jobs I'm doing. I'm freaking out. I'm doing my timesheet here, just lying about where I spent my hours, and it's not a great feeling. I don't do well. I'm someone who I've always described myself as I like change and I like things changing, but I'm also someone who like has a long adjustment period to change, which is weird. Like I don't like things getting stagnant. I like trying new things and like, that kind of deal. But I guess when like I uproot's not even a good word. I moved 15 minutes away. Like it was not a big move at all. I fit everything into my car. I guess really in 2 trips. There's a couple things left back at the house that I just like some speakers and stuff like that. But for the most part, 2 trips with Delilah, and I got everything moved over here. Pretty much everything I own is now in this bedroom, and like everything from the old room, if you guys knew how small it was, can fit in this closet pretty much. So like there's a ton of empty floor space here, which is what I think we're gonna go to Walmart today. I'm gonna get like a little bedside table and a lamp. That'll make it feel a little more homey. Because right now I can't even read in bed because I only have this overhead lamp, and I don't want to like use my phone flashlight to light up a book or something. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. Like I've still got my little knickknacks from all my friends in Barrie. My little Santa Claus Henry got me. I got some Christmas cards from Reed and Sana. I got my what do they call it? My succulent and my cactus from Sarah. So like I've got little mementos from my whole life all around here, but it does just suck that I can't put it on the walls and have it like easily viewed you know, from my perspective. Or maybe there's like a way you can hang stuff up without sticking it to the walls. I don't know. I was thinking like the ceiling, maybe. I don't know. Or just like if I could get like a freestanding structure that I could then like just hang paintings on that and just have like a separate painting wall, like a little accordion style door thing that unfolds. That'd be cool. But yeah, I need to get more things going that make this place feel more like home, because I also don't want Chris and Andrew to feel bad that I'm feeling bad. Like that's the other side of it, because I'm like, this is not you guys' problem. This is a me problem. There's not something you guys can do. This is I gotta figure this stuff out. And hopefully doing these podcasts will you know, help me air out some more and, you know, get these thoughts out. I had a really bad day Monday, and I yeah, just sent some texts, like some emotional texts that were in the heat of the moment, and I kind of like after I sent them, I had like, this is not really how I really feel. And like when she was texting me back, I was like, yeah, I didn't word these right, and then I just caused myself more stress, and like I had a good thing going, and I felt like I ruined it just for no reason whatsoever, because I had one bad day. I'm still kind of unsure on where that whole, you know, how that panned out, where we stand. I hope we're all good and we're all cool, because I still, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into too many details here. But yeah, life's rocky right now. That's the theme here. And I just gotta get through another 15 minutes, baby. I'm living with cats now. That is a different experience. I'm very close with the cats, honestly. Like I said, I've been having some rough days, and I see a cat. I see Doc. Doc is just a cuddle puddle. The man just loves to be touched. He loves food. He's a little chunky guy. He's an idiot. He's a real stupid cat. If you go in the basement, he doesn't know where you are, and he just yells from the top of the stairs. But like if I'm coming downstairs, I feel a little bad. I'll just like pick up Doc and just like smush him into my face, and just I need a hug. I need a hug, Doc, and you're the man that's there for me. So it's been really nice having pets around in the house. It's such a cool vibe and like cool atmosphere, just having like these other, you know, other things just in the house, like kind of doing their own thing out and about, and you kind of just stop and chat with them, hang out with them for a little bit. That's been great. That's been great, because I do miss, you know, I miss Harley, and she's back in Barrie, and it sucks not having the dog here. And I don't know many other people with dogs. There's another dog I know in Waterloo, but I have not seen him in like a month, quite some time. So I hope he's doing well. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to make this like New Year. I thought I was gonna come into this podcast, and I was gonna be like high energy. Like, I'm super excited for the new year. We got all these plans. I got a new place. We got everything going on. And I don't know. I didn't want to fake it and come out. And I wanted to be like honest and be like open. But like, yeah, I'm in a struggle right now. And it's like, I know I'm gonna get out of it. I know it's temporary, but it's just one of those things where right now it sucks. It just, yeah, my whole body and my brain is just hurting. I thought about reaching out to my therapist again and seeing if I can do like I can't afford it, which is the shitty part. I need to get like if I could get a stable income, I think going back to therapy would be a great idea for me. So maybe I'll reach out to her, see if I can do like one session until I get a job, and then I think that'd be really good. As much as this podcast is like good for airing out, I don't want to put all my dirty laundry, and there's like things, like personal things that I don't want to like bring up because it involves other people, and I don't want to talk about that on the podcast because it's unfair for them. This is all about like me and my stuff, and it's not fair for me to like air other people's dirty laundry, and not even dirty laundry, like air my thoughts on other people where they have like no say in like what's going on. They can't clarify things, so that's why I don't want to do that. So yeah, I think getting back to some talk therapy would be good. And yeah, broken record here, but just time heals everything. And we'll get back to being me. Get back to because I felt great last year. I didn't feel any anxiety all year. I didn't feel I didn't stress. I felt very comfortable with who I was, and like I made a lot of friends, and I felt great. And then I don't know, I left Westmount, and that was like what was keeping me sane. I think is just having a job. And then like as soon as I didn't have that stable job, something to go to every single day, everything just fell apart. And I don't take care of myself. I don't put in effort. I don't look forward to things. I look forward to like, I latch on to other people, and I'm like, hey, you guys, I don't know what to do with my life, so I'm just gonna like hang out with you, and just balance it out by like making other people deriving my happiness solely from other people, and that's like really unfair to them and selfish for me to be like, hey, I can't take care of myself, so you guys have to take care of me, and I just rely heavily on other people. And that's not a good way to live through life either. Especially as someone who like has described themselves as an introvert, it feels weird that I'm also not good at being alone, but I also do really like being alone. Like going for that walk today, I love going for a nice solo walk, like just putting a podcast or putting some music and just kind of like leave yourself with your thoughts in the fresh air, and like just the little, that slight little bit of exercise also just like, makes you feel better and kind of clears things up. So that's good. That's been good. But boy, I got 10 minutes to kill here. What else do I talk about for 10 minutes though? Yeah, this was like the number one thing I didn't like in this podcast was how in the early ones I would just be like counting down. I've lost it. I've lost the knack for it, which is interesting. I've lost the ability. I probably should have just written some stuff down beforehand, but I wanted to just sit down on the computer and hit record and go. And yeah, this is I'm gonna have to get this talent back. I was never too really great at it. I was never stellar at doing podcasts and talking for 45 minutes to an hour. But I did get better at it over the last year. And then I kind of, I don't know when it was that I stopped doing the podcast weekly. I don't know what happened. But is there like, it's the same thing with everything. I get really into things. And then as soon as I like take, miss like one session or I miss one podcast, it's like the desire to do it has just fallen away. It's just gone. And like I picked up the podcast again. Like I didn't want to let it disappear completely because I do enjoy doing it, and it is something I want to like keep getting better at and keep growing it. But yeah, I missed that 1 week, and then I was like, oh, it's okay if I do podcast bi-weekly then, I guess. The world didn't fall apart. And then it's like, oh, I missed 1 week, now I can miss 2 weeks, now I missed 3 weeks, and then before you know it, you're just never doing a podcast again. And it's the same thing with everything. It's like a workout. You miss one workout, oh boy, the chances of your next workout being missed just like went up 15%, 20%. Then you miss that second workout, and it's just the exponentially increasing of the chances of you not working out. So I think, consistency has got to be like the key this year. Keep on yoga. Adrian has been killing us with this 30-day yoga challenge. It's been like 4 30-minute like intense videos to start the month, and that's been brutal. And then we go straight from that into a kettlebell workout in the garage, and it's cold. Sorry, I got the hiccups here. And it's cold in the garage. And then I go for a walk after, and it's like I get all this physical exercise done in the morning, and then I'm just gassed at the end of the day. But yeah, today I recorded a podcast, and then I think I'll go eat some lunch, and then probably edit this thing, and then Chris and I are gonna go out and run some errands, and then come back, and then maybe I'll probably like apply to more jobs or something. Just try and keep things moving and keep things productive. Because if, like I said, for December, there's a lot of days where I literally sat on the couch for the entirety of the day. We would go downstairs, we would do yoga, and then we'd watch Sopranos, and I'd sit on the couch, and Ethan would go upstairs and go do something else, and I would just stay on the couch, just on my phone or just like casting things and just golfing. And then like Ethan would come back down at like 3 o'clock. He's like, oh, what's going on? You still here? I'm like, yeah, you want to watch Sopranos? He's like, sure. Then he'd watch more Sopranos, then he'd eat dinner, and then he'd go upstairs, and like I'm still sitting on the couch and just like didn't move all day. And that's that was not good for the physical health, not good for the mental health. But luckily I got you can see I got a Fitbit once again. I got a Fitbit for, I guess this was technically my birthday present that I got at Christmas because I never went home for my birthday. But it's been good because I've gotten my 10,000 steps every single day this year. One of them on Tuesday. On Tuesday we went for a lot of walks, and my Fitbit died by like after the first one, so I missed out on probably like 8,000 steps or something, which sucks. But so I didn't hit the 10K that day. But I know in my head that I actually did hit it. So yeah, we've been good at walking and getting out and exercising. We've been good at exercising. We've been good at eating. We did a big meal prep on Sunday. We cooked a bunch of stir fry, and we cooked too much stir fry. Like there's still so much stir fry left in this house. And we were supposed to meal prep again last night, and we're like, we don't have to meal prep. We got too much food. Then we're gonna meal prep tonight, and we're like, we don't have to. We got too much food. And also it's game night tonight, so like there's a very tight window to meal prep. But Sunday night meal preps are gonna be a thing for sure, and then we'll see if we can get into a habit of meal prepping for Wednesdays, and have 3 meals made Sunday, 3 meals made Wednesday, and then Saturday's kind of like our fun food day. Like don't go crazy and eat like a extra large pizza by yourself. Like keep the calories smart, but like you can branch out a little bit and not focus on just like eating super healthy, like, or nutrient dense foods. So that'll be good. That'll be really good. Yeah, other than that, what am I gonna do with this podcast for, I guess, the year? What are my plans for the new year? Maybe I should try and set some of those. And if I say them on here, they'll help. What I want to get, then the podcast has to get back to weekly. That's a key thing. The podcast has to get back to weekly, and then I have to like start uploading other videos again. It's like, yeah, the Insound Mind gameplays. Those are the first few are gonna be easy because I have like 3 or 4 recorded on my computer still. But then getting back to recording those would be good. I think one of the benefits of this room is in my other room, the window was right behind where my camera was. So if I set up my green screen, I guess if I set up my green screen, the window light would shine through it, and it would just like, it'd just be a big bright patch at one point, and it'd be like white, and then the rest would be green, and then I couldn't really like key it out, and it looks terrible. If you see in the videos, I'm like losing my hair and losing parts of my face because I have to really crank up to overcompensate for that window. But now it's just like a wall behind me, so I think this should be better, like lighting wise, to get the green screen set up, and should be a little easier to record videos. So yeah, I can get back to doing that. I want to get back to doing that. Find some, maybe get some losers on drug stuff going too. There's the film festival that Ethan and Martin entered, January 15th. If you're going to be in the KW area, January 15th, the Kitchener-Waterloo Film Festival at the Princess Theater, I think. That's at 7 p.m. on the Sunday. It's a Sunday. Yeah, so we're going to go see that. That's going to be exciting to go see ourselves on the big screen. And cool to see like the other local filmmakers. That'll be interesting as well. I think there's one feature film and then a bunch of shorts. And the feature film is like a horror kind of zombie movie. They have the trailer out on their Facebook page, if you want to go check that out. But yeah, it'll be super cool to, just see myself. I'm in like, it's like a 2-minute sketch that I'm in out of the 5 they put in. But that's gonna be super cool to see. That's I'm excited for that. And that's I gotta start doing more stuff, not like apply to film festivals, but I mentioned to Ethan before, like I want to get do freelance editing or something. I want to I love editing, I really enjoy it, but like getting footage for myself sucks. I hate it. That's why like all my podcast, like the intro videos and stuff like that, I just use stock footage, and I have more fun trying to create something out of nothing than rather than like, oh, I have this cool idea for a video and then go film all these independent shots. Which sucks to have all these ideas for videos I want to do, but just the motivation to go out and film it and like how to figure out how to get that shot and like getting the right people, getting the props, just the production side of it. That is not me. I'm not a planner. I'm just what can I do right now with what I have? That's my kind of production. So, yeah, I got to figure out more ways to edit videos and just have more fun. Cause I think I do have a talent. Like I'm self-taught, and I think those intro videos all came out well, and I think like the air to the chair sketch came out well for like the first one I did. I think, yeah, I enjoy like finding new techniques and thinking, oh, I really want to have this happen in the shot. How do I edit it? And like spending like 2 or 3 hours just like playing around with it and trying to get it right. And then when you get it right, the next time you want to try and do that thing, it takes you like 20 minutes, and it's so satisfying. So yeah, that's what I wanna do. Get into more like production things and I need more creative outlets. I think that's the key, is not focusing on what, Aaron? I was gonna say not focusing on your job, but you don't even have one. I think being creative is what I'm meant. That's where I like feel most comfortable, like making jokes, making those dumb little videos. Like that's where I feel most comfortable, and like I feel like myself shines through. So I think I need to get back to doing that. I think that's, play some guitar. I really want to get a keyboard still. Martin got a keyboard. I didn't get to see it because I moved out beforehand, but I want to get a keyboard, and that'd be the nice thing about a keyboard is you can just plug headphones into it, and I can play like without worrying about like interrupting other people, and just kind of like get into my own world and play with it. So yeah, the guitar is much harder. You can't really hide that. Everyone's gonna hear all my mistakes and it's gonna sound terrible for everyone else in the house. But yeah, that being said, I kind of want to wrap this up here. I don't want to ramble too much for you guys. I think I have described my situation in enough detail that you guys understand where I'm at. Hopefully you guys are having a better start to the new year. I mean, if you're not, feel free to reach out, because I'm much better at taking care of other people than I am at taking care of myself. So if you need some advice, you need some help, someone to talk to, yeah, come find me, and then I'll figure myself out at some point. You know, I always do. I always pull myself out of it, but just a track record of beating myself up, and then just I beat myself up, and then I give, hey, friend, you need a little hand here, and I lift myself back up. It's like the Spider-Man meme, except they're fighting each other instead of pointing at each other. I don't know. Anyways, guys, if you did come back to this episode, thanks for holding out from the 3-week hiatus. I'm sorry I couldn't make more entertaining things for you at the end of last year, but I'm trying. I'm gonna try. I think that's the key thing I want you guys to take. I'm gonna try. I know a lot of you guys are rooting for me, and you enjoy the stuff I do. So I'm hoping I can get to a place where I'm just making fun stuff for you guys. We're all just having a blast out here, having a good old time. So yeah, thanks for listening. As always, thanks for sticking around for the past year and a half. It does really mean a lot. And hopefully next week is a little more enthusiastic, and I got some better things to talk about. So for the 5th, thanks guys, and Aaron out.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Now take what you learned and have a great day. Damn, it feels good to air out.